Well, that's the two things that are always asked that brought up is me and Scott Hall or me and Shamrock,
right.
And they're both just things that just happened that weren't meant to happen, but it happened. With the Scott Hall thing, we were doing a thing on. They came in from WWE or whatever it was called at the time and they were. I actually thought Scott was one of my best friends. I only knew Kevin in passing a little bit from he came in when we were first down at Turner when we first got there with Rick and everybody, the good old days in the late '80s. I only knew Kevin a little bit, but I knew Scott me and Knobs like he was a brother. Me, Scott Hall, Shawn Michaels, and Marty, and Kurt Hennig. We were like a gang that came up from the AWA. I consider one of our best friends. And Scott lived on and off with us through Florida when he's going back to Japan down here for Florida Championship Wrestling. But I honestly could say I really didn't know the guy when he came off his WWE run in the Turner. They were in a whole of their heads was a whole other cloud, like it was like dealing with a different person. It sort of bothered me and Knobs in a way because we went way back with them. But the first thing that happened was we were doing a thing where they were going to run in and hit us with chairs live on TV. You know what I mean? They said, yeah, and he came in, and that's when he did the damage to my neck and all that stuff. But see, he sort of guillotined me with a chair. We were beating people up in the ring, and they were really pushing these guys to get over. They were the big draw at the time. I don't even think the NWO was made yet or anything like that, but it was the Outsiders, I think it was.
Right.
Yeah. So Scott hits the ring. Next thing, my lights go out. I mean, I don't even know where I'm at. He turned the chair sideways, hit me my base of my skull. Boom. I don't remember the rest of it. All I remember is I'm going to beat Scott up when I get back in the locker room. What the fuck did he do? So I told Miles, watch my back. Scott, when we got back to the lock, back in the area back there, dropped down to his knees. Was, oh, dude, I'm so sorry. Please, I didn't mean it. I went, okay. I mean, I got to go to the hospital because I had mass concussion, a softball side egg in the base of my skull, and I was delirious. So they took me to the trainer made me go to the hospital for concussion. So time goes by, I get checked. I got the cracked bone chips in my neck, the whole 9 yards. My arm's going numb. I tell J.J. Dillon that, and J.J. Dillon and Kevin Sullivan go, just come up. You don't have to do much. Just make these last shots, these 2 weeks. So that happened before Christmas. I come back and wrote after Christmas. Now it's 1997. And we have to make a couple weeks of tours in Louisiana. So we're in Louisiana, and it's a 3-way tag. Scott Hall and Kevin, Ming and Haku and Barb, and me and Knobs. And there was a finish in there that involved X-Pac running down in. And I remember them arguing in the locker room. They wanted to beat Ming and Barbarian outright or something like that. So anyway, that goes on, and all of a sudden the finish comes around. There's no X-Pac. Where is he? This is an important part of the finish. So everything gets screwed up. Next thing, out go my lights again. Boom. I get hit. I don't know who did it from behind. I roll out of the ring. I actually remember feeling my head like if I thought I had a cut in my head. I'm standing outside the ring. But what the fuck was that? And this is after I had the other injury. Now I walk over by the steps, and who am I looking up at? But it's Scott, and he has a chair someone threw in the ring. He throws the chair straight in my face. I said, that's fucking it. I walked straight in the ring and punched his teeth straight down his throat. 2 or 3 shots, boom, knocked his teeth out. And then he knocked him out of the ring, went outside the ring. I pounded him a couple times outside the ring, and that was the end. I went back to the locker room. Here he comes in and goes, what the fuck? Before he could get a word out, I hammered him again, blasted the shit out of him, and knocked him out.
Are you trying to end my career? And then Barbarian and Haku were holding Sag back, but very gingerly so he could really beat the shit On a fucking
So I beat him up there, and I knocked him. He slid down the wall, was laying on the floor, and who marches in? Who and sees Scott laying there, but Kevin Nash, and he goes, "Who did that to him?" I was in a fucking furious rage, madman. I went and ran toward him and said, "I fucking did it." He turned around and ran down the fucking hall.
Yeah, he said, you want somebody to shove your head down your ass. And Kevin Nash went running like a little pussy.
He ran right the fuck down the hall. He was nothing to do with it. And then X-Pac was nowhere to be found. I had ripped every hair out of his fucking skull if I would have caught him. He was hiding in a closet somewhere. So anyway, now I calmed down.
Who was hiding in a closet?
X-Pac, because he never showed up for the finish. He was disrespectful to Ming and Barb, who were real close with me and Knobs. They purposely didn't come down for the finish so he can get an outright win.
First of all, Jerry, I'm interrupting you. Jerry and Brian, as does Conrad, know Ming was the baddest of them all, right?
Oh,
they were job scared. They were so job scared, they wouldn't say anything.
Yeah.
I mean, Ming wanted to kill all of them, but he wouldn't.
I respect Ming and Barb. Those two guys were sent from the Isle of Tonga when they were 14 years old.
Man.
Yeah, and they could have wiped out the whole locker room with their eyes closed. I've seen them, and we've been under so many situations. You know, they're some of our best friends.
But Ming, my God.
But now, Rick, I go throw shit around the line. It took me a while to calm down. Finally, I'm getting a shower, and go fuck it. Now I go into the shower, and I hear boom, boom. I go, what the fuck was that? I come out with no clothes on. And I go, nah, what just happened out here? Kevin Nash comes back with a bat and comes and smashes the bat against the wall above Knobs' head.
He was tapping the bat and saying,
hit the bat and said,
we'll see you as the stroke. We'll see you as the stroke.
We'll see you as a stroke in this company. Yeah, and sure enough, we got fired out of that whole deal.
I can't hear it. Tell the story again.
What's that?
You were in the shower, right? And then what happened?
Well, I went in after that whole thing with Scott and the whole thing. I was in the shower. Then Kevin Nash came in with Sting's bat. Sting was doing the thing with the bat. Somehow he got Sting's bat. And if I would have seen him, I would have went. I didn't give a fuck about a bat or not. I would have went right at him. I was in the fucking washing in the shower, but Knobs was sitting down changing, and he banged the bat against the wall, and he said, "We'll see who has the stroke." And that meant when we get back, he's going to go to Eric Bischoff and have us fucking fired. And they sent us home off the road, waited a month, and then fired us in the middle of our contract and everything. I'm fucking hurt. And I think that's why I busted the ball. Everybody says I sued WCW, all this bullshit. All I did what I wanted to do. I said, motherfuckers, because we couldn't go nowhere. Actually, Bruce Pritchard called me during that time. You guys want to come out you and Niles want to come back up for Survivor Series or something like that. I said, listen, I'll come up, but I can't wrestle. I'm in fucking rehab right now. I'm losing 4 centimeters on my left arm. My arm's numb. He goes, no, we can't do that. You got to wrestle. So I couldn't do it. So I busted their balls, had them fucking serve with the papers to fuck with them back.
Yeah.
Everybody said, you got all this money, did all this. No, that never happened. All I was going to say, you fuck with me, I'll fuck with you too. That's all, because that's all we could do. Our backs are against the wall. And that's how that ended. Now, that was in the middle of our career. I mean, it's the highlight of our 30s.
I'm going to propose a question to you, right? So if you and I and Conrad, who is my best friend in life, if you and I and Brian walked into a bar tomorrow, and Scott Hall's calling you out, what's going to happen?
Well, he calls me out, he's going down. But I've seen him and Kevin a bunch of times. I got no problem with him. You know what I mean? I had no problem with him.